Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nyedis Anarchy series. I'm your host, Adam Callan, the CIO of Nyedis, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the AWS Summit in New York City. So on Wednesday this week, AWS, Amazon Web Services, had their summit for cloud services at the Java Center here in New York City. So I made sure to go because it was a free conference. You just sign up and you get to go. So we got a couple of our guys from Nyedis going as well, so it was really cool. We got them to fly in and drive in to go to this thing, so it was fun. We got to hang out. There's a ton of vendors out there talking about cloud security, all the different tools and offerings they have that all wrap around AWS. And obviously, all around the Java Center were tons of ads and billboards for Google Cloud, which I thought was kind of hilarious. But yeah, so overall the summit was pretty cool. There were a ton of people there. I mean, thousands. If someone said that there were 10,000 people there, I wouldn't be surprised if the number was around there. It was huge, and actually pretty cool, especially for a free conference. Because I mean, this was like a legit conference. They had tons of keynotes and talks about AI, ML stuff. That was definitely the hot topic for Amazon. Was talking about machine learning, AI, using SageMaker and all their tools that they have there. They had a really cool area in the back for their, I forget what it's called, it's like the race car thing. So basically, you prove out your AI models on who can race this car around the track the best. They had that there live for you to play with, so there was a line for people to interact with that. And they gave lunch for everyone. They had, vegetarian chicken option, but they had lunch stations in the expo center and downstairs for everyone to get free lunch for it as well, and like a really good one too, not like some McDonald's BS. So that was pretty cool. So overall, the summit was actually pretty awesome. Now, the fun part was I actually missed all the talks. I didn't get to see any of them because at the last minute, Kurt and Sam, my two awesome engineers, were like, "Hey, we're going to this hackathon. You should come check it out." And at first, I was kind of busy doing some work, and then they said, "Hey, there's power here." That was the one thing. There was nowhere to plug in a laptop anywhere at the Java Center. They have like special plugs, this way you can't just jack power from them. So everyone's frantically running around trying to find out where they can plug in their laptops and charge their phones. And I was trying to work, so therefore it's like I needed power outlet because my laptop was dying. So they're like, "Hey, I got a text of a table with just 2 huge power strips on it." I was like, "I'll be there." So that's how I got sucked into the hackathon. And the hackathon was actually kind of neat. It actually went on, I think, for like 3 hours. So it didn't feel like that though. Time went by really quick. I don't know if I'd really call it a hackathon, but what we're trying to do is more like who could troubleshoot and fix these AWS services to have a certain outcome, and you got points based on which things you could fix. So they had different categories that you could, or quests that they call them, and all pertain to the storyline of someone's running a unicorn stable, and they're selling unicorn stuff and translating unicorn talk and stuff. It was bizarre. There's a whole storyline throughout the whole thing. It was a ton of fun. But as you solved problems, you would earn points. And we would say like, "Hey, you need to go through and set up your app services to launch some new ECR container to do these things. And once you have that done, put the URL of the running app instance here. And then when you run, it validates it and says, 'Yep, you did it. You earned 20,000 points or whatever.' And if you put in the wrong answer or the wrong URL, it would deduct points. So you had to be careful as to what you provided. They also had really cool hints. So therefore, if you were stuck on something, you could then buy a hint with points. Like, it will give you a hint, but it costs you 1,000 points. And I think there was something like 12 teams that were participating. It was basically on per table basis. So we had Team Nyedis, and the 3 of us were just going to town on this thing. And for the majority of it, we were in first place up until about the last maybe 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden, this Hawkeye team that turned out to be literally the table right behind me just whomped us. They just came out of nowhere and secured the first place win. And then some other team, I forget what their name was, but they got second place. But we did score third place, so that was pretty awesome.
Team Nyedis.
Woo!
Thank you. Score 569.
See, third place, AWS Game Day Unicorn Rentals. Here, I'll show you my awesome medal here. We'll zoom in there. Check that out. Ooh, yeah, how fancy. So yeah, so we got these cool little bronze medals and got to go on stage and take a bow, and that was a ton of fun. But in the end, it was really cool, and we did learn a lot about the AWS services, and that's really what the hackathon was about. Was kind of like teaching you through hands-on and kind of gamifying their whole service structure. So in the end, the hackathon was fun. I just don't know if I'd really call it a hackathon, because you really weren't hacking anything or preventing anything from a security standpoint. It was more just like, oh no, something is preventing this service from running. See if you can figure out what's wrong in the pipeline and make it work, right? So I guess it's like, I guess from the traditional sense of hacking, right? It was, but either way, tons of fun. We all had a great time, and it literally came down to the wire. Like, we were counting down when we finally got our last, like, it was almost like 100,000 points. Kurt from our team was definitely the MVP. He scored probably at least half those points on his own. He just totally killed it. So yeah, it was a ton of fun. Next time AWS Summit's around, if it's in New York City, or they do ones all around the world as well, I highly suggest you go. It is free. There's a ton of networking potential, and the talks are amazing. I mean, I didn't get to see them personally, but from hearing from Kurt and Sam and some of my other guys and people that were there, they were really in depth and really actually showed a lot about their stuff. So if you have a chance to check out the AWS Summit, I highly recommend it. Follow us for more here on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and all that fun stuff where you see these videos. We'll be posting every time that we're going to be going to these conferences ahead of time. The next conference that we will be going to is DEF CON out in Las Vegas. We will all be there from this August 9th through the 12th that we're going to be there. We got a whole group of us going out. It's our annual thing. We always go out to DEF CON. It's just for fun, right? We're just out there just to have a ton of fun, see what kind of cool hacks are going out there, and participate in hopefully a real hackathon. So we're really excited about what's going to go on there. If you're out in Vegas and you want to meet up with us, hit me up. You can hit me up on Twitter, on Instagram, TikTok, Nyedis IAM, or hit me up on email, adam@nyedis.com. Anytime. I'll see you guys around. Later.